Welcome to my channel. It is another day and I'm ready to hear more music. And I've been thinking about this because I can only do right now just 2 reactions a day. That's what I've limited myself to keep from relapsing. And so I thought, going through the requests is going to be really slow, but it's okay. And then I thought, maybe I should do something different. So I want to run an idea by you. My request list is over 3,000 now. So some of you, the ones of you who have recently made requests, aren't going to get a reaction for over a year. And I feel badly about that, but at the same token, the ones who are getting their reactions done now asked for them last year. So it's kind of a 6 of one and half a dozen the other, I guess. But I'm wondering what you would think of the idea of setting a day of the month. I have no idea what day, the 1st, the 15th, just set a day. Excuse me. And on that day, I will do requests from the comments from the previous day. So that way, at least once a month, you'll get stuff that's hot off the press, if you want to call it that. It's just a thought. Let me know what you think of that idea in the comments. In the meanwhile, today, I've decided I'm not going to do requested reactions. I'm going to do 2 reactions that I had already planned on doing that were not requests. They were, well, actually, one of them kind of was. But they're ones that I had planned on doing, and so I'm just going to do them. The first one is Epic the Musical Storm. It's the next episode. I had planned on doing it when I got sick. And then the second one is Dax singing Lonely Dirt Road. So, no requested reactions tonight. I guess you call it 2 special bonus videos, I suppose. But anyway, that's my thinking right now. I want to do something to kind of mix things up and make it more interesting for you if I can. So, without further ado, before we get into the music, I always want to thank you for coming here because you have choices. You could go anywhere you want. You don't even have to get on the internet if you don't want to. And yet you choose to come to my channel and watch my reactions. And that it amazes me, it humbles me, and it blesses me beyond your imagination. So thank you so much. And as I do with every single video that I do, I also want to remind you that I always put the artist links in the description of their playlist so that you can support them if you want to. But I put the link to the song I'm reacting to in the description of the video. I also put a link in there from Wikipedia if I can find anything that's relevant. For example, yesterday, both songs I found on Wikipedia, so I added that link. And then I always put the link to the reaction request form because just because I have 3,000 doesn't mean I want you to stop. I do not. I want you to keep going because it gives me something to look forward to. Think about it. I got to live for at least another year just to get through what you've already asked me to do. That's motivation. So keep asking if you want and think about doing that once a month special day when we do requests straight out of the comments. Okay? I will decide which ones I want to do, but you make the suggestions, okay? Now, one last thing before we get into the music. I do want to remind you with each video I do these days that I am in the process of writing a book. I'm currently proofreading it. The title of the book is The Nature of Christ. It's an exploration of what the Bible has to say about the nature of Christ, the nature of man, and the nature of God. and how that relates to your walk. And the last chapter is practical suggestions that you can use in your walk to strengthen your Christian beliefs. So I am offering that to every single person that comes to my channel. You do not have to be a subscriber. If you simply view this video and you see this message and you follow the instructions, I will send you a free copy of my book. All you have to do is send an email to me, paul.schmehl@gmail.com. That's paul.schmehl@gmail.com, and say, I would like a copy of your book when it's ready. And if you send that to me, I put it in a special folder, and when the book is ready, I'll be sending those out to everybody that's asked for them. So far, I've only gotten 3, which is kind of surprising. I thought there'd be more interest. But anyway, don't be afraid to ask me. And by the way, no, I won't accept money. No, you can't give me money. If you send me money, I'm going to send it back to you. And if you refuse to accept it, I'm going to send it to charity. I don't need money. That's why I don't, what's the word? Mine went completely blank. Monetize. That's why I don't monetize my channel. I don't need money. God has blessed me beyond your imagination. And I don't need your money. I am happy. Okay? So keep your money for something more important, something more closer to your heart. But if you want the book, send me an email. Otherwise, you won't get a copy. And when it comes out with the publisher, you'll have to buy it off the shelves. Okay? So, enough said. Let us get into the music. This is the next episode of Epic the Musical. And the title of this episode is Storm.
Tides have grown in strength and size. Is it nature or divine, or a blessing in disguise? Our homes inside, this storm's our final fight. There's no time to die. Comrades, sir, brace for a storm. The likes of which we've never seen before. Brace for a storm. Home so close, we must keep pushing forward. Full speed ahead towards the island, but avoid the crashing waves. Tread where the tide is flat, and then you will be safe. Captain, we will capsize with these waves. Our fleet will fail. Have them follow my ship. I'll ensure that we prevail. We're taking too much damage to survive. We'll beat the storm. At this rate, we won't make it out alive. Captain, look! An island in the sky. You really just grab the harpoons, as many as you can find. What do you have in mind? We're gonna shoot for the sky.
What?
Storm, storm. Everyone grab a harpoon and aim it high. Storm, storm. We're shooting for the island in the sky. In the sky.
Is it just my imagination, or was that incredibly short? Uh, If I recall correctly, and I may not, I believe the last episode we watched was when Odysseus was disputing with Athena, and Athena was washing her hands of him because he wouldn't obey her command to kill them all. That was after the encounter with the Cyclops. I believe I'm right that that's what the last one we watched was. It's been a while, and I've been sick, so I may be wrong. But anyway, I continue to be impressed by the artistry and the creativity of this musical. Stop and think about it for a minute. This is crowdsourced. This is done on the internet. This is not, there's no huge budget. There's no movie studio or some other kind of big entity behind it. It's just some people who had a vision, and they have implemented it. It reminds me much of how I'm writing my book. I have written 2 books now, both of them self-published. I don't even try to get a publisher to publish my books because I know they won't be interested. They're too short. They want something that's 1,000 pages. I couldn't do 1,000 pages if my life depended on it. This book that I'm writing on Jesus Christ is less than 100 pages, and I believe it's complete. I don't think I've missed anything. So that gives you an idea. Now, I do have an idea for a book, which I'm going to be starting on in the not too distant future, that will probably be longer, and that's I guess you call them quasi-historical novel about Paul. I want to create a story about how Paul carried out his missionary trips, because as I read my way through Acts, I'm just amazed by what he did. And so I think it's worthwhile to tell that story in a way that's a narrative, I guess you would say, that puts you in Paul's shoes or sandals and makes you walk the same paths he walked and feel the same pain and the same joy and the same anxiety that he did when he walked those paths. Excuse me. I need to drink. I apologize. I think it would be a very interesting book, and I think people would be interested in it. So that's my plan. It's kind of sitting on the shelf over there staring at me while I work on finishing this book. I don't know what's happened to me, but suddenly I've become an author. I wrote a book a long time ago called My Prayers Were No Help. I wanted to express the emotions of having discovered that someone you deeply loved was dying of pancreatic cancer. And that was the result of that. And that's been out for, I don't know, 5-10 years now. And I've actually sold 3 copies. That shows you how good an author I am. But anyway, I got notified not too long ago about that book, and I thought, I should write that book I've always wanted to write about politics, because people just don't understand politics at all. So then I wrote Freedom Over Labels. Can't remember the rest of the title. But anyway, it talks about how I think we look at politics completely wrong. We should be looking at politics on a spectrum from total anarchy to total totalitarianism. And every government in the world, no matter what type of government it is, will fit on that spectrum somewhere. If you draw a horizontal line from anarchy to totalitarianism, every government will fit somewhere on that line. And when you look at governments from that perspective, then you start to think, wait a minute, how and why are they trying to take away my freedoms? And you begin to have a new, completely different view of what politics ought to be. And so that's why I wrote that book. And then after I wrote that book, I got sick. And now I'm being completely honest with you. God said to me, you need to write my book about the nature of Christ. And I said, okay, let me get started. And boy, I tell you what, it just poured out of me. And I'm very proud of it. I think it will bless people. But we'll see. Maybe nobody will buy it. I don't care. I put the words on paper, and that's what I was asked to do. So anyway, I'm getting way off track here. Let's get back to the music. But before we do that, let me pray for you, because I love you. And I want you to know that God loves you even more than I ever could. And that he wants to have you as his child. And he wants to hold you in his arms. And he wants to bless you in your life. And I hope that he does. And I pray that he does. And I pray he does that for every single person that you love as well. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.